Hey everyone, how are we doing today? Okay, have you noticed a lot of shows are coming back with like an extra season? X-Files is doing it. They're on their second one. Will and Grace did it. They're signed for a second one. Shows like Roseanne making a comeback. What got me to thinking, there are 10 shows in particular that I wouldn't mind seeing one more season at a minimum from. Now, I don't care if they go more than one, but I would like to see at least one more. You know, there's some shows on this list with things that are no answers to any of the endings, or answers I just didn't like, or I feel like we deserve better. And some because these characters became like family when you were younger, so it's kind of like I'd like to see it again. You know, I'd like to see him back in my life again one more time. Well, here we start my top 10 in no particular order shows that I think need one more season. Alright, let's start off with our show number 1. My number 1 show right now is Due South. Now, this is a show about a Canadian Mountie who came to America in search of the killer of his father. By the end, I think, of the second season, or the first season, I think it was, he did find his father's killer, but he just stayed on as a liaison to the Canadian consulate. I did it all from memory. That was like the line he always gave. But this is another show I would love. These characters kind of like... It was one of my favorite shows as a teenager back in about in the 90s. I mean, it was hilarious. It had proper drama. It was quirky. It was different. And I don't understand why it didn't last more than 3 seasons in America. 4 if you lived in Canada. Or maybe the other way around. I can't remember. That show was one of my all-time favorites. Bring me to number 2. I would love... Now, this has been in the works, I heard, but I'd love to see a return of the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. That's another one I like to see how they're doing, you know, possibly after Uncle Phil's death and everything. Like, how the family is holding up, how well Will is doing, being brought up there. But it's another show where they became like kind of like family every week, and it's one show I'd love to see make a comeback. And we believe Will Smith. There's a good chance it is making a comeback. Okay, number 3, Home Improvement. I know what everyone's thinking. You know, the show was kind of dumb. It was fun, and I would like to see again. Another thing I'd like to see is how the Taylors are after all this time. I mean, it'd be fun to watch. Like, is Tim still hawking Binford tools? Did he get a new show after he ended the other show? Is he retired? Is he still breaking stuff? You know what I mean? That's little things I'd like to see. Then our 4th on my list. Now, this is another one that's had rumblings of a return. And I'm not 100% sure they're true. They keep saying they're working on it. But Married with Children. That show's another one of my all-time favorite programs. I've loved Married with Children since episode 1. My mom hates it, and she hates it and I love it, but I think it's one of the greatest shows ever. I'd like to get my wife to watch it someday. I think she'd probably enjoy it because it's just weird, it's ridiculous, it's disgusting, it's great. It's great American humor. Number 5. Now this show in particular, I think had the absolute worst ending in the history of television, and that's Quantum Leap. Quantum Leap did not deserve what it got after the end of the 5th season. We deserved a real ending. Sam deserved to go home. I mean, we know he could control his leaps at that point at the very end. Spoiler alert for a 20-year-old show. But I really think we deserved as fans a lot better. I think the character deserved much more. I think he deserved to see his family again, his wife and everybody, you know? And if he controlled leaps, he deserved to be able to leap back home now and again. I would love... They were working on a show called Project Quantum Leap a couple years ago. And it was supposed to be about Sam Beckett's daughter going into the time stream to get him back. But the problem was that it just never materialized. I really think I wish Sci-Fi, being Universal owns the property, or even NBC at this point, could get together and bring back one more season. One more season of Quantum Leap. I could live with another season of Quantum Leap. And like I said, everybody deserves so much better. Now this is an odd choice. And people are going to probably like, well, what the hell did you pick this for? But number 6 on my list is Wings. Why Wings? Why not? Tony Shalhoub was great on that show. It was his first exposure before Monk. I mean, the cast itself, even after they separated, they still had a pretty decent set of careers. Except for Crystal Bernard. I haven't heard anything from her since that show. But, on the other hand, the show itself has become incredibly dated, incredibly old. It was really silly, but I think I would love to see another season of Wings. I would get a kick out of that, having that on TV again. Number 7, this is gonna be a touchy one for me because after Phil Hartman died, the show went downhill. But I would love to see Newsradio again. One more season of Newsradio would be fun. I mean, Dave Foley, he's still in top form when he's on TV. Stephen Root, legendary. Still legendary. Funny man. Another one I'd really love to see. That's a show I'd really love to see back. I mean, 5 seasons was good. And yeah, I was one of the people that were like, why did you pick John Lovitz to replace Phil Hartman when he was murdered by his wife? But that's the whole thing. It'd be nice just to see the people from WNYX again. We all know Andy Dick's not doing anything. And he's not even in jail, so he's doing pretty good for himself. Maybe he could actually come back too. And it'd be nice to see the gang from WNYX. That's all I'm saying. That was a fun show. It was a show I liked. It was weird. That was our weird, quirky, odd show. It wasn't disgusting. It was just weird. Like one of the strangest shows I've ever seen. The number 8's another one. Now, okay, this could potentially happen with the CW. This could be the one show that they could actually bring back, even for a season run, hell, for a TV movie, or even like 4 episodes. Use a different Earth, whatever, but Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman. With the multiverse system, I can't see why they already have Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher hanging out. The only problem is the guy, Lane Smith, who played Perry White, died a few years ago. But I know one of the Jimmys are still running around. I know Lois and Clark are Tracy Scoggins still working. I mean, the entire cast for the most part is still working. I would love to see just one more season, like an aftermath of the original series, to show us what happened in that particular metropolis when everything ended. When they left that baby on the doorstep, what happened? You know? You don't even have to acknowledge the baby go away. All you really have to do is just sit there and just explain what happened to the kid, and then just have a few more adventures with that Superman. You can make it part of a crossover with the Flash, or Supergirl for that matter. Admit it, you'd like to see the Supergirl Superman and the Lois and Clark Superman actually meet. You'd like to see Supergirl confused over why is her father flying around Metropolis. I mean, come on. That's one show I'd love to see make. Even like a 5-episode comeback would make me just happy, as long as they tied up all the loose ends that they left us with in season 4. Thanks, Michael Eisner. Here's another one. It's kind of weird, kind of quirky, but I would love to see this. Perfect Strangers. Now, for those who aren't as old as I am, Perfect Strangers was a show about this guy who lived in Chicago. His cousin Balky came from Mepos to live with him and live in America, become a citizen, the whole 9 yards. Well, wackiness ensued. It was your typical wacky 80s sitcom. It was made by the producers who gave us shows like Family Matters. Yeah, that's all I need to say. Step by Step. Just a goofy 80s sitcom. I mean, it was a kind of like an Odd Couple meets family comedy, and it was really funny. I mean, it was one of the shows I looked forward to every week when I was a kid. I mean, I believe it was one of the earliest TGIF shows too. But it's one of those shows I would just desperately love to see again. on TV. I mean, just see Larry and Balky after all these years. And we all know Bronson Pinchot needs the work. He's in hock to a local bank and when he rebuilt a town, you know? I mean, he could use the money right now. And I'm pretty sure that this would be good for him. Okay, now the last show. The last show is going to be that show. The show everybody wants to see have one more season. I'm pretty sure just by that description, you know what I'm talking about. It's Friends. Friends is that one show I would love to see have a 10-episode or even a 6-episode season. Just to catch up. I mean, someone put up a trailer recently that was so well made, it looked real. Like, there was certain things that told you it wasn't. Like, for example, when they had it was NBC and Universal. No, it'd probably be on the Universal banner, but I was going to see Warner Brothers. NBC wouldn't be one of the producing partners, but I would still love to see this. I mean, they're all available. They're all itching to get back together for something. They do reunite every so often at award shows. I just want to see one more year. One more show, one more season of this show, because I would thoroughly enjoy this. It's one of those things that I cannot imagine happening, but I'd love to see it. Right, well, so there you have my top 10 shows I think at least deserve one more season. Now, as always, I don't know if you're new to the show. If you are, welcome. If you're not new to the show, welcome back. If you want to, in the comments down below, we could always discuss the topic. I mean, I myself answer the comments every time I get a chance. You can also catch me on Twitter at Heartbreak1980, and again on Facebook at facebook.com/mbl570. Let's start a discussion on this if you want. You know, I mean, if we get more people to watch this, you know, tell your friends about it. You know, anybody who's, like I said, watching from a Twitter page, again, I thank you. But I'm pretty sure we can have a really awesome discussion about this whole topic, because it is a hell of a fun topic to talk about. And I'm sure you guys have shows you'd like to see come back. Let us know. Let me know here. I will definitely answer you. We could have a discussion. Well, that's going to be it for this show. Again, I'll see you next week around the same time, approximately 7, if I don't forget to upload again. Last one of the last episodes, I forgot until Sunday. I'm sorry. But if you're here at 7 o'clock with me on a Saturday, have a great night. Thank you for giving me part of your weekend too. I mean, that's a lot to ask for anybody. I mean, even I don't like giving up any of my weekend for anything. But I will tell you this: you will have a great day. You all have a great time, a great night if I don't see you. And I will see you in the next episode. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe, send to your friends.